right, guys, it is Wednesday, July 11th. Let's dive into this recap. Let's talk about our trades today and let's see, why I made the plays I did. Why did I buy at the areas I did? Why did I sell at the areas I did? Today was a pretty solid day. It was a fun day in the market. I made a total of $459. As you can see right here, here's my P&L. So you can see MTSL was the stock that I got involved with. I bought 4,000 shares. I picked up these shares at prices of 356, 359, 360, and 362. I started selling around 373, 369, 377, and 368. That led to a P&L on the day, a total profit of $459. It was absolutely awesome. It was a great trade. It was an awesome play. And as I said, the thing that fires me up even more is, as always, you guys. You guys making your big time money, you guys making that big time profit. It really does not get any better. Whenever I show you guys the profits, it just fires me up and gets me so excited. $2,000, $108, $200, $125, $220, $330, J Trades $250, Dirk $231, MTSL $150, Jab $188, Tiny Turtle $80, excuse me, $88. Awesome job there. It's still, free lunch, free dinner, whatever you want. Philly Buck, 170, 157, 55, 175, 160. This is just quick, easy profit. And how long did it take you to make that? A total of 5 minutes, maybe? What other job in the world allows you to do that? Sitting here in this chair, sitting in your office, clicking a button and getting paid. It is just absolutely great to see. And on top of that, we have so many traders that are making that good time profit. It just fires me up, more than you guys can know. So what else do we have on this trade on MTSL? Where was the predictability behind MTSL? Why did the stock take on off? Why did the stock, go on a nice big rip? So let me bring this up for you guys. But this play formed a beautiful U-shaped pattern. And this is why we got involved with it. So basically, MTSL, if we look at yesterday, this was a big daily mover. This stock went on a big top gaining run. This stock went on a big top gaining rip. And it got, traders' eyes on it. It got a lot of traders involved with it. I just want to make sure it comes up on the 1 minute chart right here. Cool. So a lot of traders got involved with this trade yesterday. Now it's interesting because this stock didn't have any sort of news towards it, which makes it a little bit more, cautious. It makes you a little bit more cautious as a trader. It makes it a little bit more unpredictable, and it makes you a little bit nervous that you could be getting caught up in some sort of pump and dump yesterday when the stock went from $1 all the way up to $3 for no reason. So this morning, we saw that this stock was having a gap up. We saw that the stock was having a gap up, and it opened up right next towards around this $4 mark. So I saw that the stock was having a gap up. I saw it was a previous top gainer yesterday. And also MTSL has a very low float. If you guys look at the bottom right here, MTSL has 1 million in float, a dark blue stock. Now, with that being said, we know that these dark blue stocks or low float plays can easily go on nice big rips because we know the float is the shares offered to the public. When we have a low float and a high demand, a low supply and a high demand, it equals big time rips. So how did we pick our entries and how did we pick our exits for this play? So with MTSL today, we know we opened up at $4, right? We know that $4 is that resistance line. And we know we have this, drop right at the start of the day. This drop that comes back on down. Awesome. So right now, when we have this drop and we start seeing a little bit of green start coming back on up, what's the first thing that's popping into our heads? First thing that we know that are popping into our heads is that red to green move could possibly be forming, correct? Where we know red to green move, one of my favorite go-to patterns, one of the patterns I use the most, this could be a start of a red to green move where we could be seeing a nice rip, where we could be seeing a nice run, and we could see that stock on its next leg on up. Now, red to green moves, as I know, the definition for a textbook red to green move is off the previous close, when you break above the previous close. But what I personally like to do is use a red to green move off the current open of the day. Because, anything below the current open, I count as red. Going above the current open, that's when I consider, what has gone green. So I want to bring up a couple different pictures, as always, to kind of describe what I like to call a red to green move. Basically, again, dropping underneath the open, coming back, breaking the open, and having this big buying volume come through. Dropping underneath the open, coming back on up, getting this big buying volume coming through. Dropping underneath the open, coming back on up, getting the big buying volume coming on through. So I saw this on MTSL, and I'm saying to myself, hey, you know what? This is a previous day top gainer, a low float stock, starting to U-shape on up. We could possibly see the stock, start moving and get that big time breakout. So why did we get in at the entry of the 360 break? As I already showed you guys over on my TD Ameritrade account, where was I getting in on this play? I was getting in or getting involved with this at 357, 360, 361, 362. Well, Deck, you said that the break is $4. Why are we getting in so early? What we also talked about in chat today was what? The different areas on where you can buy a stock, the different areas on where you can buy a U shape. Where do we like to buy stocks? Where do we like to buy plays? We like to buy plays at the break of resistance, right? Because the break of resistance is where buying volume is going to come in. Now, if we can get into a play as early as possible, wouldn't that be a good thing? If we know that buying volume may be coming in a little bit earlier, wouldn't that be a good thing to know? Absolutely. So let's just break down again the U-shaped pattern. When we look at a U-shaped pattern right here, and let's say that we have our top resistance along this mark, we know that we have the A wall right here, we have the B wall right here, and we have the C wall right here. We don't want to get involved with the A wall because the A wall could potentially what? Just basically keep falling on down. We don't know if that's going to U. The B wall could definitely be a possible play if you want to start, looking for, some entries right here. The B could stand for bounce play, as we could have, our bottom support going across right here. Where I like to personally enter is right along the C wall, the uptrend from the B to the C. That's where, I like to enter. Why? As I already went over before, because if this is our top resistance line, if this is our top resistance, and we start U-shaping on up, most likely, can't say every single time, but I'll probably say 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 times, we're going to at least get to this mark right here, that resistance line. And if we at least get to that mark, what's going to happen? Two things. Either A, boom, explosiveness. Big time rip, big time play. That's, a big time money maker. Or, unfortunately, some things may happen where the stock may start turning its way back on down. And you know what? No matter what, I'm still profitable. I'm profitable if it breaks out. I'm profitable even if it goes right here because I bought here and now I'm selling here. That still is higher in price, which is going to equal some sort of profit for me. Now, even if the stock can't break up this, if the stock does break through this resistance line, now the stock's a lot of profit for me. But no matter what, I'm making money on this trade. So I want to find the area of resistance. I want to find this resistance mark right here where I know where can I buy a little bit beforehand, where traders are most likely going to at least, buy up towards this resistance line, and we're either going to get a breakout or it's going to come back down and I can still make my money. Now, you could be saying $4, but what am I seeing? I see a little platform right here where I know, okay, we came back down to 354, then we came up to 360. And we dropped back down to 325. Then we came up to 360. And we dropped back down to 325. And we came up to 360. And we dropped back on down. And then we came back up again. And then we hit 360. And then we dropped back on down. Now I'm saying to myself, resistance is a very strong, line at 360. If we break through 360, that's when we're going to have our next leg on up. It did make a little bit of a U shape right here. Again, a little higher low pattern, following this nice little trend line. And you could always, if you wanted extra support, put a little trend line right here, and you can see it follows right up it. And then what happens? It breaks 360. So right as it was coming on up, I know the main resistance is all the way up at $4. But if I could buy a little bit from the B to the C wall before we get all the way up to, the big entry, what happens? Now I can sell up here. So I'm in, at 360. The stock runs all the way up to $4. What did we say? Unfortunately, it could not break out next to $4. But since I was already in from the B to the C wall, even if it can't break out, I'm still being profitable. I made $459 today without even having a breakout because I got in from the B to the C wall, right? How great is that? I got in from the B to the C wall instead of just waiting for top resistance. Because if I just wait for top resistance, as you guys know, I may hit that wall, come back on down, and then, I'm not ever going to be profitable. But if I'm in beforehand for a little anticipation run up, I'm going to be profitable every single time. So MTSL, this trade came down to what? Knowing A, your U-shape patterns. B, kind of understanding the U-shape and the red to green moves that come with it. Understanding volume and understanding different levels of resistance behind this. I know that 360, we're going to have buying volume move through, and we're also going to have a lot of resistance at $4. If we break $4, hey, I'm going to be seeing a couple $1,000 gain. If we can't break $4, hey, you know what? I made $459 today. Not a bad play, or not a bad paycheck for 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. Averaging $400 a minute, not too shabby. I'll take that. So MTSL, that was, our big play of the day, and that's where you guys can see, most of the chat room banked on MTSL, which is absolutely huge. But that's all from, again, that U-shaped pattern getting in between the B and the C wall. So even if you want, a little bit of a better illustration right here, let me just actually give me one moment. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys, and I can even make this on this chart so we can see what happened. So this is our A wall right here. This is our B wall right here. This is our C wall right here, and this would be again, where our resistance would be, which would be basically our D, where a lot of people would look to enter, like right around here. So if we follow this, we don't get in here because this could possibly crack. You could get in for the bottom bounce play if you can recognize that at $3 natural support. So $3 natural support, which is very nice. And then I started getting in from the B to C wall right here. So I got in right here, as you guys know. And then what started happening, the stock, couldn't get that break on out. And excuse me, I actually got in a little higher right here. I apologize. And the stock couldn't break out right here. So it got stuffed right here, started falling back on down. But you know what? I'm still profitable. This is still higher than this price. So no matter what, I'm still leaving with money. How great is that? But you have to be able to recognize that. You have to be able to see that because resistance is a wall. If we break a line of resistance, we move on up. People get excited. But you have to be aware of the next resistance line. $4 is a strong one. If we break that, we're off to the races. But unfortunately, couldn't break it. But hey, since we got in at the right area, that's where we're still profitable on this day. So, that's absolutely awesome. Absolutely great to see. But MTSL was, my main trade today. That was my big trade today. It was my only trade today. But I want you to understand why the stock went on a climb, why the stock went on a rip, and how traders were able to profit on this, even though it's on a very big red candle. Now, everything else that we've seen today has been a little bit more on the pumpy and dumpy side. MDGS, I try to short this stock at 245. Try to short the stock right at 245 because I'm trying to short a lot more this summer, but E-Trade couldn't fill me. I couldn't get my shares filled. I was sitting on it. It's hard to borrow, and I had an order right here and went past it, ran all the way up to 256, still never got filled, and then the stock came all the way back down to 194. Would have made a killing on that, but unfortunately that couldn't happen. MDGS though, we're seeing a lot of low type of pump and dump type of plays. So you definitely got to be careful on it. MYOS was also a little bit of an iffy play right at the start of the day where it basically went straight up, straight down. This one is slowly creeping as well. The problems with like MDGS, MYOS, they don't really have any sort of news towards them. So it's a little unpredictable. It all depends on which way, traders want to throw them. But as you guys also noticed, which is something I do want to go over again, which I've talked about earlier this morning, was this brand new setup that we have at DekmarTrades.com. We worked with the CEO of Trade Ideas, Dan. He's one of my good friends. We worked with this breakout scanner, this Holt scanner right here, and it's just been an absolute killer. Having the high of the day momentum scanner right here, it brings us every single stock which hits a new high of the day, which means it's moving on up. And the breakout scanner, if we get 10 new high of the days, the breakout scanner would take the top 2 or so, which have actual what? Massive volume, decent float, or massive volume 10 plus, or massive volume and low float, and it tells us basically which stocks are going to play. So it's like the high of the day momentum scanner tells us which ones are in play. The breakout scanner tells us which ones are the hottest ones that we should probably play. The Holt scanner is absolutely perfect. We got the Holt on BIOC, the Holt over on SEED. We have the penny stock top losers at the bottom, and we still have our mid candle breakout / bull flag pattern right here. So the scanners are absolutely on fire as well. So overall, it's been an absolute great day. Very exciting stuff. And I'm so happy for the traders who have made money on this first little bit of the day. We're very excited to see what the rest of this week comes on up. And as always, I'll be happy to help you guys out with any questions you guys have.